What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Mamba, and I am rushing to work today because I am irresponsible. No, guys, in case you guys don't know, I'm an office manager, so that's why sometimes you'll catch me in a whole get up and the whole thing, but yeah, I'm a boss lady. All right, so let's get into it. Today's video is going to be my part 2 of my superhero movie rant. I got a lot of positive reviews on my first one, and I have some updates, so let's not waste any time because I need to be at work. Let's get into this. Okay, so in my last video, I talked to you guys about the fact that I have not seen Spider-Man Homecoming, and yeah, it turns out my stepfather watches these videos, and I was staying the weekend at my mother's, and he made it a point for me to watch it because he was very disappointed in me. So thank you, Armando. I finally saw Spider-Man Homecoming, and boy, am I happy that I did, guys. If you guys saw my last video, you guys know that I boycotted the film because I did not like the fact that Marvel did not decide to stay with Andrew Garfield. Now, I know that Marvel don't need to do shit, but I really liked Andrew Garfield. However, Tom Holland did an amazing job as Spider-Man. I loved him. I actually like him more as Peter Parker than I actually like him as Spider-Man, but it was surprisingly not what I was expecting. So from what I understand, they were not going to do an origin story of Spider-Man. They were kind of just going to pick it up because there was enough Spider-Mans as there is talking about how he became super. So they just kind of picked it up from where it was, and they did a little jumping back and forth between Captain America, Civil War, and all this stuff. They kind of just pick it up for where that is, and I love the movie, guys. I'm gonna tell you some of the pros, I'm gonna tell you some of the cons. So for me, the pros are Tom Holland nailed Peter Parker. Wow. Loved him as Peter Parker. What is up with all these like European actors just killing it? They're killing it. It was so amazing. I loved him. He really sold it for me. The one thing that I really enjoyed about this film was the tiny little details that Marvel threw into the movie, like when the way he would jump, his poses, the way he would stand, like little things that he was doing that had the actual look of Spider-Man. Like when he jumped over that fence in front of his school and he kind of like did that pose with his feet all like, oh my god, I was like, wow, that was like a nostalgic moment for me. I was like, wow, that's a really amazing little detail that they added into the film. I'm sorry guys about the sun, but I cannot control that. So I really love that they added those tiny little details into the film. And then I'm like so annoyed by this right now. Hey guys. So the other thing I really loved is I really cannot figure out how they did a couple things as far as shooting wise. Like, I'll give you an example. When he puts on his suit, you know, it's like really loose on him, and then he presses the spider in the center and it just shrinks to his size. Like, how did they do that? That was crazy. And then my favorite little moment was when he was sneaking back into his apartment and he didn't want, you know, his aunt to know, so he's like climbing on the ceiling, and his friend was like sitting on his bed the entire time. And when he dropped from the ceiling to the ground, I'm like, what dark magic is this? That was insane. Like, I loved those little things because I can't figure it out. I mean, obviously they did it, you know, in that way, but that was really incredible, like camera shooting. That I love that little stuff. The fighting was great. The one thing I'll say that was a little weird was that they didn't really play into his spider senses. I don't know if I'm just being picky, but they didn't really go into his spider senses, which is one of my favorite things about Peter Parker. I mean, I think the closest we get to seeing him somewhat use it without really touching it is when he's fighting the thieves in the bank because of the way he's moving, but they didn't really play into that. That was weird. But other than that, I loved everything else about him. Now, another big thing for me was that Tom Holland as Peter Parker, I love his interaction with Tony Stark and Happy. It was hilarious. It was so cute, and anything with Tony Stark is always going to be a great scene. But that moment where he's in the car with Vulture and, you know, Michael Keaton, and they have that really dark, intense moment where, you know, Michael Keaton finds out that he is Peter Parker, he figures it out. and he tells his daughter to get out the car, and they have that moment. The anxiety, the fear that comes over Peter Parker was so genuine. Like, that was real. To me, that's so Tom Holland for me. Like, out of everything else, anyone can be like a really fun, witty teenager and old thing. His acting in that moment, and even when they were in his house, I mean, I was just like blown away. I was just like, wow, this kid, yes. Yes. So I am Team Spider-Man for Marvel. Really, really happy with it. I didn't have a big problem with Vulture. I typically have a big problem with some of the villains because they're not developed enough for me. But his character was, I kind of understood how Vulture came to be. So I did understand how he became, you know, the villain in the story. So I did like that. And I did like that they added that classic, you know, Liz turns out to be the daughter of Vulture. Oh my God. When he opened the door, at first I'm like, whoa, wait, is he like kidnapping Liz? And then I was like, oh snap, no, he's the dad. That was crazy. I love that. Oh my God. Okay, guys, I'm really hyper today. So yes, for those of you who seen Spider-Man Homecoming, and I know part 2 is coming out, I'm really happy. So thank you, Armando, for making me watch the film. Moving on. Another thing that you guys had commented in my last video. Come on, guys. Come on. Green means go. So another thing that you guys commented in my last video was that when I was talking about the fact that I did not like The Flash at all, I said him in Batman v Superman, where actually that was wrong, and some of you guys caught that. Flash was actually in Justice League, and the reason why I guess I confused the two was because I hated both of them. They were both trash films. Okay guys, I got 10 more minutes. Okay, so Justice League. So let's talk about Justice League. Justice League was another film, classic DC, rushing through things, not properly introducing characters nor their development, and just through a team film, and it was garbage. All right guys, I don't think I need to explain why. I mean, Cyborg was alright, you know, but I could do with or without him. Flash was just horrendous. Aquaman was good. Wonder Woman was good. And then Batman feeling all guilty and crap because of what happened with Superman, because, you know, he don't know how to act. And, you know, the villain in that movie, I think was Steppenwolf. Is that how you pronounce it? Steppenwolf? That was just forgettable at best. I mean, he was collecting all the mother boxes, and I think my favorite parts in Justice League had to be when Steppenwolf went to steal the mother box from the Amazons, and they had that incredible battle. I mean, oh my goodness, when they were in that temple and you were seeing all those women like break all the pillars, I was just like, yeah, women's were on point. They were gorgeous, athletic and built and lean, and I was just like, oh my goodness. They had all of these then they had the chasing with the horses, and I was just like, this is incredible. Like, I would see a whole movie about the Amazons. It was awesome. And then my other favorite part in that film was, I think everyone's favorite part in that film, which is when Superman came back to life, was wilding out, and he had Wonder Woman and Aquaman in a chokehold, and and then Barry is like trying to, you know, sneak up on him, you know, and Superman does that little peek around the shoulder, like, not up in here. That was a really awesome scene. I remember I saw that in movie theaters, and everyone was cracking up in the theater. It was awesome. Yeah, but besides that, everything was just forgettable. Like, if I never see that movie again, like, just like Batman v Superman, I'm not really missing anything. So unfortunately, it was another missed opportunity for me for DC. Then we get into Black Panther. So Black Panther. So I didn't go see that movie also in theater, not because I didn't like him, because when I saw Black Panther and Captain America Civil War, I loved him. I loved T'Challa. I think his character was awesome. I think his fighting is insane. I love everything about Black Panther, but I actually did not go see it in theater. Part of it is because I got kids and I don't got time, but at the same time, it wasn't, to me, a strong enough character for me to like go out of my way to go see this film. my God, when I finally did see it at home, I wanted to kick myself, because I was just like, oh my goodness, this movie was so good, and I had to see it in my 55-inch TV when I could have seen it in a gigantic IMAX theater. Like, I was really upset about that. But the movie just surprised the hell out of me. I wasn't expecting to love Black Panther as much as I did. I'm like, Wakanda forever, let's move there. I don't understand why we're here. I loved Black Panther. Honestly, I'm gonna create a black t-shirt and it's gonna say Wakanda forever, and whoever sees me and is like this to me, we're best friends, and you can call me every 5 minutes, because I love that movie so much. It has a beautiful mix of like warriors and tribes, and I'm not gonna lie, it has like this Lion King feel to me also, which was amazing, one of my favorite Disney films. And then it mixed modern technology, like when they were in China and that whole scene with like the racing and the fight in the casino, I was just like, what am I watching? This is amazing. I love the movie, guys. So yes, do you guys also love Black Panther? Because it was just out of this world to me. It was kind of like when I saw Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time. I was like, what is this? I can watch this forever, put this on repeat. I loved the movie, and I love the actor that played T'Challa. I love the accent, everything about it. Just, it was sexy, it was awesome. Yes, Black Panther all day. Now, the last movie I'm going to talk about, because I got to go inside, is Suicide Squad. So let's talk about Suicide Squad. DC, man. Fucking DC. Suicide Squad was another very weak film for me, and it sucks because for a film to be based around anti-heroes, I think that, to me, that barks up my tree all day. I love dark characters. I love Logan. I love Punisher. I love Batman. So anything dark is going to attract me. So anti-hero film, absolutely. Outside of Deadpool, I don't really think we have another one. Some could say Venom somewhat, but I was really looking forward to Suicide Squad. However, if you guys remember my old channel, I wasn't crazy about the new Joker. And a lot of people got on my case because of that. I don't care, guys. At the end of the day, we're all entitled to our opinion, and my favorite Joker is Heath Ledger. Okay? Get over it. I was not a huge fan of the new Joker. Now, when I saw the film, it was a good Joker. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you know, he was crazy and psychotic. It's just such a different look to me, and so it was a little hard. But then again, you guys know that he was barely in the film. To me, the only thing that made that movie worth watching was Harley Quinn. I mean, do we really need to like discuss this? Harley Quinn was the only good thing that came out of that. Deadshot, played by Will Smith, was, you know, and everything else, I mean, the storyline and everything, it just, yeah. Empress was sexy in a weird way, and, you know, the rest of them were Harley Quinn. That's it. That's all I can take from Suicide Squad. Other than that, again, another film that I really don't care to watch again. I'm sorry, I'm a tough critic, but you know, DC's not making it easy for me. It's really, I'm trying so hard to love it. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna wrap up today's video, and I will come back with a part 3 to discuss, let's see, Wonder Woman, Logan, Deadpool, and I think Venom. And I think that pretty much wraps up the movies I wanted to talk about. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace and chicken grease.